Hey everybody, I am Greg, one of the effects artists here. The other effects artist is Aislinn, and we've been working like non-stop on these discipline effects for like the last 3-4 months. I think pretty much since we finished the Templar, and it's like 6 or 7 archetypes worth of powers in here. So I'm just gonna briefly go through some of these, and I'm gonna be showing a lot of effects off today. And if there's anything on here that you'd like to see that we have actually finished, I'd love to pull that up and talk about it. A lot of the discipline specific questions are going to be answered during the discipline segment at 2 p.m. with Blair and Hallish. So I'm just going to go through a lot of these masters, the majors, and some of the minors. I like the fortunes on this monitor. Whose monitor is this?
It's mine.
Those who do not remember the past are condemned to repeat it. That's a reminder. All right. Actually, I need to do CSR commands to get equipment and disciplines.
Are you doing CSR commands?
Yeah, let me know when you pull it up, and I could start showing stuff in Popcorn. So yeah, I'll be jumping back and forth between Popcorn, our effects editor, and Unity. A lot of these disciplines are done, but we still have a lot to go, and we still have some polish work. Again, it's about like 6 or 7 archetypes worth of powers, so it's taken a while between 2 effects artists. All right, so I'm gonna run through some of these masters. We'll go through the masters, majors, and then some of the minors. I'll try to show off at the end. Let's see. So something we've done different with the disciplines is to have a base effect, so you kind of know what kind of power it is from the start, while still remaining unique. And what I mean by that is the effect. All barrier effects and mitigations will have this base barrier starting, and it'll follow up with a unique effect up here. And an example of that, let's see, a barrier effect. Not this one. Here we go. Okay, so this is an example. This is a slashing mitigation power, and it has the spinning weapons, but we're gonna have it start with this barrier here. And once Max has CSR commands up, I can show you what that looks like all together.
Do you need them up right now?
Yeah.
All right, hold on 1 second. It looks like some people are having trouble accessing the stream, even though we're streaming.
That sucks.
But go ahead and open the console
Okay.
when you need to.
Yep.
And then let me know when you're done.
Why doesn't it want to give me weapon disciplines? There we go. Okay, I'm done. So I'm just gonna equip my weapons, and then equip my discipline by going to my player tab. And we have a disciplines tab within there. And I'm gonna equip Master of Swords as my 1 weapon masters. And then you'll see once you equip that and you go to your powers window, some new powers will show up here. So Whirling Leap was the last power, which was the Knight's ultimate ability. And then we have Critical Hack, Restoration Strike, and Iron Skin. So I'm just going to drag these down to the bar and replace those first few powers. I'm going to run over to these zombies. Okay, so we're playing with a few different weapon trails on here. to stand out from like the knight basics. These are going to be shared across many archetypes, and Master of Swords specifically is going to be for assassins, knights, legionnaires, rangers, and templars. So we spent a lot of time kind of figuring out what those combinations are going to be and how those trails should differ from those 5 base archetypes listed here. Oh, by the way, if I'm on this small screen, which I'm going to have to go to back and forth, just let me know and I'll try to toggle to the larger screen so you guys aren't reading the smallest text. Okay, so Master of Swords gives you these 3 powers: critical hack, attack, increased critical hit chance, restoration strike, which will restore your resource on hit, and iron skin, which is that slashing mitigation I was showing you. So together, we created effects. We're kind of developing this language, so even if you're not familiar with that discipline power, which for a while you're not going to be because there are just so many of them, you'll be able to tell, hey, that effect had a blue barrier. That's some sort of mitigation, and we're hoping that when something like this comes up, you can immediately recognize that it is slashing mitigation. And here on the second strike, you'll see that is a resource gain. And then this first one just has a critical hit chance. And then I'll have larger hit slashes based on whether you crit or not. I'm going to show off that mitigation one more time. I showed the 2 pieces here in Popcorn. The barrier base, and then the physical mitigations. And this one is a cool one too because we can swap out these sprites to have different weapons, like a mace for crushing. We have things for magic in there. There were definitely some fun challenges with having this many powers. Once Blair handed this off to us, we were like, there has to be more of a language than what we were doing with the archetypes, which was what is this archetype about? What are their base traits? Lore-wise, what do they do? And from there, we were choosing colors and how we wanted those effects to feel. And now that disciplines and even the archetypes across races opens up completely, we needed new languages in place. So what was I in here for? Oh, I was just showing off when Blair handed this to us, we just had so much to swallow. Okay, so here one more time, the physical mitigation with the barrier base. And we have 2 other bases. We're going to be coming out with potentially 1 or 2 more of these bases for buffs and debuffs. But right now we have barriers and mitigations. We have cleanses. So anything that heals or cleanses will play this base barrier, base cleanse effect. And then we also have one for damage and attacks. So our debuff one will include most CCs. If it's a heavy damage attack and has a small bleed, it may not be in the debuff or CC category. That may fall. It depends. It depends which stats are really taking priority. But this will help you recognize what kind of power you're using or someone on the battlefield is using. So Cecil made this cool damage effect. All right, so I'm just going to jump into some more of these powers. So that was Master of Swords. Let's see what else we got here that was pretty cool. Most of the masters we're done with, and we're working our way through the majors. A few weeks ago, I was working on Shield Fighter, which was part of the... Which was that Shield Fighter discipline? Yeah. I was working on Illusionary Shield on stream. Cool. So now that Maces is equipped, we have Skullcracker. Strike an enemy with your mace for 68 to 92 plus 80% weapon damage. So I'll just equip these 3 new mace powers. I should not be able to use them until I equip a mace. That is Skullcracker. That is Reverberating Blow. What is the effect of that power? Afflict an enemy with an aura, causing other nearby enemies to suffer more damage. And then Will of the Stoneborn. This is the crushing damage mitigation I was talking about. Someone doesn't have a barrier turned on. I'm going to put that in real quick. Are there any questions while I'm grabbing this one?
Just a moment.
Sure. Yeah, some of these barriers we do have to go back and add in. So I'm going to do that.
All right, yes, we do have questions. Give us a moment. The spinning the swords, the pinging at Crowfall game. Make sure you ping at Miracle Max, guys, and it's a lot easier for me to see it. Tinnis asked, will Pixie's Wii 1 shrink enemy player models? Is such a thing possible?
All things are possible. It's whether we want to or not. I'm going to show off. I'll show off Pixie once I get to the major disciplines. Right now, you just pull up what that doc says. So Pixie ground target, apply shrink debuff, AoE debuff, damage bonus. So Blair already intends to have people shrunk. I don't know if it's going to be like 90% shrunken, but there may be, I don't know.
Rakal asked, any plans for dual-wielding shields?
that sounds awesome. With all these shield disciplines.
Just a pure tank. Just doesn't even shield bash.
That would be awesome. Has any other game done that? And why not?
I don't think so.
That sounds awesome.
Wabis asked, if Pixie can shrink, can Pixie make a Ganetian huge? There were talks about rodents of unusual size. I think they got killed. We'll see. You never know. You never know when Todd latches onto an idea when it will make its way into the game.
He wouldn't even have to go into stealth if he did get shrunk anymore. Just the size of a blade of grass.
Apparently Dark Souls has dual-wielding shields. Have you played the Dark Souls series?
I played the first one.
Okay, yeah, I did too.
But there's some nice effects in 2 and 3.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to use CSR to swap archetypes. Actually, let me see what I'm showing off next before I do that. See if there's anything else here that I really want to show off on the night. Where's Mystical Staves? There it is. Druid, Arcane and Focus, Arc Confessor, Frostweaver. I can't wait to see the Frostweaver online.
Someone else was saying the same thing.
I'm super excited about.
The Frostweaver is going to be awesome.
Right now, my favorite archetype is still the Confessor. Just have a soft spot for her. And I think I'm going to play a Nathari. Nathari or Elkin?
I'm all about the Elkin, man. Elkin Confessor.
Elkin's pretty badass.
They're awesome.
He needs to eat hearts like Orion. Alright. Yeah, let me pull up CSR here.
Alright. I will hide it with my face. Alright, go for it.
Okay. Alright, so now I'm on Confessor. I'm going to add the Focus discipline. Then I can grab. We haven't created effects for Nova yet, but we have Piercing Orb and Mana Shield. But Piercing Orb, conjure a slow-moving, doom-filled projectile. I had fire in there. I didn't have doom.
It's doom-filled.
Shit. I think the tooltip was updated afterwards.
Doom, man, that's awesome.
that passes through enemies to damage them repeatedly for damage, piercing weapon damage. And then mana shield. Surround yourself with a protective barrier that drains your mana as it prevents damage, as well as increasing your damage bonus by 5% for 15 seconds. And all of these values are subject to change, so don't hold me against any of it. Okay, so CSR again. I forgot focus powers need focus objects.
Alright, dog, it's coming back this time. Go for it.
Alright. This is going to happen a lot. That smells good, Gibson. What you eating? just flat out ignore me. It's fine.
There we go.
Oh yeah, I'm done. Okay. So here is Focus Orb. Charges up. And releases this slow-moving orb.
Dude, that is awesome.
I just now heard your comment.
Oh, because you have headphones on. I thought you were just ignoring me.
To you in the past.
Oh, okay.
This is really freaking good.
What is it?
Some kind of
You know what that reminds me of is
fried shrimp.
Symmetra's charged orb in Overwatch.
Yeah, no inspiration. I love
What a coincidence!
I've
I've never played that game
I love
before.
Symmetra's orb. You just pop your shield up and then throw the orb behind it. Yeah, so right now we have projectiles coming from the chest, but in the near future, this will be coming from our hand where the orb is being generated. But this is a fun one. And then there's Mana Shield. Same barrier base. This one probably needs... actually, I think I decided to leave the damage one out of this because this was a channel. And all those base effects are instants. Yeah, okay. So that is no CSR. We're fine. I'm gonna destroy Master of Focus. I'm gonna throw on Master of Arcane. Aislinn worked on this one. Oh, and I think Firewall is already different than it is here. She was working. She made some changes to it yesterday. I gotta remember to show off some of the passives here. These are passives that live in the major master or major disciplines, not necessarily the minor passives. So, as Blair's mentioned, like each master and major will have like 2 or 3 active powers, and then also potentially 1 or 2 passives, which are different from your minors, which are all passive abilities. Okay, so this was her Firewall. I think we ended up removing that box projection, box mesh. And then I need to fill up my superpower bar here. If you see on the number 2 icon, I have a yellow bar. And once that is full, I can use Redemption. Rapidly throw up to 10 fireballs in a row for 40% weapon damage, scaling up to more damage based on enemy sin. And Firewall was summon a Raging Inferno to slow and damage any enemies for bonus fire damage.
You were getting me so hyped to play my Confessor.
Oh yeah, this Redemption's pretty awesome. In the dock, let me see if it's still in here. Blair's...
You don't have audio, right?
What?
So I've got sound effects and all that stuff. But you don't have audio.
No. I think I have it muted.
You turn up your speakers. if you want.
Let me see. I may just have the editor muted. No, it's not muted. Should be hearing him. Actually, let me check. I may have muted Unity. Nope. Alright, so let me build this redemption bar. NPCs are dying here. John Pollard got me these cool archetype dummies, so I could just beat on the Ganetian. I don't hate Ganetians.
I know there's a lot of racism that goes on in the playtest regarding Ganetians. They really don't like those guys. I think it's the burrowing.
The problem, they're hard to see without even burrowing. Like
That's true.
when they're sprinting, when they're on all fours, they hide pretty well in the grass.
But my favorite part of the environment video that we put out was the when it shows the Ganetians mining the copper node,
The
and
one
then the Ganetian jumps up on top and
And
shoots the camera.
fires his flintlock. Yeah, that was awesome. Dog did a really good job on those animations. John was working on the environments. Those videos came out really awesome.
They did.
Okay, so this is redemption. I'm only gonna do it once because I'm not charging that bar again. So, oh yeah, let me see what Blair. I mean, I know what he put in here. Redemption, E Honda hand attack using zealotry. Okay, not supercharge, it's zealotry. So E Honda fire attack. Islam did an awesome job on that one. All right, and that's it because I'm not charging that up again. All right. All right, I am going to switch archetype CSR commands. Max is busy. 1 second. Can I get CSR?
Yeah, that was a bad time for me to go whisper at Gibson.
I should have just kept talking.
Can't you just bring it up on
I wonder why he stopped. I'm like, keep going. All right, you can CSR?
Yeah.
Let me get the dog picture up. You know, make it even bigger. All right, you're good.
Sounds like Crowfall Z. Hell yeah. As like Trunks' burning attack. Or what's Vegeta's? Anybody watch Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah, but I'm not gonna
Dragon
embarrass
Ball
myself
Z?
by guessing
Yeah.
it wrong.
Because I'm
forget-
an adult.
No, Gibson's 40. 40. That's just being generous. Adults watch Dragon Ball Z. Okay. Why?
Dave
Okay.
nailed that picture of Doggett, man.
Yeah.
That's good.
All right. CSR's coming.
All right. I'm reluctant to take the picture down, but
You just make it smaller.
Can I just put this in a
Okay. So mystical staves. Let's see.
Okay.
We have grasping roots, which will command nature to envelop enemies in a targeted area, rooting them in place and inflicting bonus nature weapon damage. Soothing winds heals a targeted ally instantly, and then jumps to a nearby ally. Each player healed will heal every second for an additional 15 seconds. Soothing winds will jump to as many as 5 with healing reduced, and then stars align. These have to be on the right tray. This one may not. Yeah, that one's not actually properly set up. So I'm going to switch to my damage tray. You're not going to see Soothing Winds, but I'll show off Grasping Root and Stars Align. And that effect is just going to stay on my feet because it's not properly set up. Ah. Okay, so right now I'm just trying to fill up my essence bar.
Let's go into your scratch folder, Max.
And we will get Grasping Roots. And she lays out her roots sometimes. Let's see. Can I show off the other one in here? And popcorn? No, it's broken up into pieces. A lot of effects that we build, we have to break into pieces to either attach to different body parts. This one goes on as long as Soothing Winds is being channeled, and then we have something in here that's pulsing. This is actually on the target. So we have this heal, and then in the middle of that wind tunnel, we have these soothing streams pulsing in between. Don't die on me. There we go. So yeah, it's hard to see there. That one has to be set up in Unity, but let's do Stars Align. And that one Invokes forces of death, increasing your damage bonus and reducing weapon resource costs for 20 seconds. Those are fun ones to work on. $12.30. I'm probably going to move on to majors. Spending a little too much time on the masters here. But there's just so much to show. There's no way I could show this off even in 2 or 3 hours.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
There are a lot that we've done, and we still have a lot to go. I know a lot of these, or some of these are going to be coming on with placeholder effects. And they'll just be coming online over the next few weeks.
So speaking of ones we haven't done, Durenthal asks, can we show any that are not active in testing currently? Like, do you have any that are FX that the design data isn't hooked up for yet, or the animations aren't ready for that we can kind of tease a little bit?
Hell yeah. So the other day I was working on Grabthar's hammer.
Oh, right. Grabthar's hammer.
And this one is not hooked up in game yet. This impact will probably have to be a little larger once I get it in game. So like this one is totally not hooked up in game yet. And this was a fun one to do. Let's see if I have the other half of it. So that Grabthar's hammer is going to be a 2-part combo where the first one does damage. The hammer comes up. Really cool animation. If you saw that, and then
make sure it's
the second part of the combo is the stun, and a lot of our
it's this,
CCs
right.
are on the second parts of combos instead of having that wait time.
yeah.
Let's see, and then we have the hammer rising up here. Again, another one I had to split up because they're going to be 2 different powers. Where is that hammer? I think I have it disabled. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so once this is in Unity, I have to go in there and I have to add lights because I want the light of this effect also affecting the environment. Even though these effects seem very lit, they're just sprite cards and they're not actually lighting the environment. A lot of effects we have to go in there and add lights so that you'll see some of that bounce light on the character, the environment, walls, etc., other players. So yeah, that's one. I do want to show off Aislin's Banshee. She did an awesome job on that one. Let me do CSR.
That one is awesome.
Yeah, let me do CSR commands. I'm gonna wipe my inventory.
CSR?
Yeah.
Here comes Doggett. Alright, he's up.
Okay. I'm actually gonna switch back to the knight. The knight is our kind of our test archetype where we kind of put everything on the knight first, and then it trickles down onto the other archetypes.
Isn't it funny that the knight is our guinea pig and not the Ganesian?
Yeah.
That's a little ironic.
That's because the Ganesian has so much specific tech. It's not super feasible where
Right.
the knight is a little cleaner.
Is it the animators don't mind the Ganesian so much? It's the centaur they hate, right?
Yeah, the centaur and with this race archetype discipline thing, bows. I know bows are difficult for them, but
Yeah.
that's actually getting a lot easier for them.
And so people have asked in the chat, can we see stuff from the Master of Bows discipline? And right now, no.
Right now, no, yeah. Exactly.
Because of what Greg just said, basically, we're still in the process of porting those animations over, and the bow is particularly troublesome. But it'll be there.
So it's weird. It was more troublesome until we always like overthink the process, not the process, but like as things are changing. So this wasn't like an overnight thing. Like, hey, Todd woke up one day, which I'm sure he did, and was like, we're doing races and archetypes. Like, we can finally do this. But along that road, things were changing. Like the final layout you see between races and archetypes wasn't always what it was, and during those steps, we're already trying to compensate for like what we're gonna do, and like in the end, it ended up being less work than we anticipated. I don't know if any of that made sense, but I think, and effects too, like adding disciplines was it was a lot. Like these are the first effects that are going to be shared across archetypes, so like a lot of things have to be scaled, including hit effects. Like something that appears on the Myrmidon is going to have to also scale down so it doesn't look ridiculously huge on the Ganetian. And that was a hurdle for us. Once races and archetypes came out, it wasn't, because we already had the tech. Like the tech is handled the same way, and whether a Knight Templar, a human, not Knight Templar. See, I'm still doing it. It's human Templar. Whether a human Knight or a human Templar has an effect where Knights and Templars can both use that discipline, that effect only has to be created once, like for humans.
Right.
Or like those values only have to be changed once. So the races and archetypes did not add nearly as much as I initially anticipated.
Well, I remember when Todd first told us that we were doing that, I just like looked at the schedule and wanted to cry.
Oh yeah.
It's like we were all like, no, you gotta be kidding me. And then we realized like it's actually not as hard as it seemed, because disciplines were basically that system already, like you said.
Yeah.
So
I was on paternity leave when they decided on
oh,
it.
yeah, I forgot.
And like I'm dropping by the office like, hey, how's the baby, everybody? I'm like, hey, Melissa, what's going on? And she's like, nothing.
Oh, archetypes are out.
No, she didn't tell me. She was like, I don't want you to think about work.
That's
And
even
meanwhile, I'm like, oh man, like the whole like 2 weeks. Of course, I'm spending time with my kid, but I'm like I have some really good ideas for these disciplines. And I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna be like, no, not disciplines. The assassin. Like we were originally gonna work on the assassin. We pushed that back so we could work on archetypes and disciplines. I was like all psyched up. Like during these 2 weeks, I'm like, I got this idea for this power and this one, and I come back and Monday morning, 9 o'clock. Melissa's like, so
gotta break some news.
We got it was a nice kick in the balls, but it's awesome. Like obviously, and initially then I thought it was gonna be a lot more work, but it's not. It's not. Like we've already jumped that hurdle with disciplines, and it's absolutely the best move we can make. Like as a
totally, yeah.
I'm a developer on this game, but I'm also a player, and like this is awesome. This opens so many options. Like why wouldn't I want to be able to do all this? I'm doing a lot of talking and not showing effects here. All right.
We're excited. Long story
I'm
short,
excited.
We're excited, and you know, people keep asking like, how much is this going to delay the game? It's really like not. You know, hopefully,
Yeah.
This is basically on track with our previous schedule, and it makes the game so much more interesting. So,
Yeah, it's saving us time on some things too.
right.
All right, what am I doing here? Banshee. Where is Banshee? Let me.
Is this Ghost
Yeah,
Army?
this,
Is that
I
what it's
want to
called?
show off Aislin's Ghost Army, which was pretty.
Yeah, she nailed this one. It's awesome.
Okay, there we go. I don't have my other shield. That's fine. Okay. So, Ghost Army. Awesome. Probably not going to hear it, right? We'll see. Okay, so Banshee. Banshee is a major discipline. And as you see here, you can equip 2 of them. So, Banshee Whale. Whale in front of you, reducing the movement speed of up to 5 enemies. Haunt up to 3 enemies, reflecting a portion of their attack as nature damage and healing you for 50% of damage taken. And Ghost Army. Call forth a Ghost Army in front of you, dealing a bunch of weapon bonus damage per 5 per wave of the army. 50% damage dealt, return to you as health. I like the drain mechanic on here. Let's see. So I'm going to do, that was Banshee Whale. We have Haunt. I like that hit effect on there. And then Ghost Army. Ghost Army is awesome. Here we go. So it is a channel, so as long as I hold this, I can really create 25 ghosts. And that is, it's going to hit a lot of targets. Yeah, that was
I love that.
one of
dude.
my favorite effects by Aislinn.
It reminds me immediately of Return of the King.
Yeah.
The Ghost Army, which I guess makes sense.
Alright, I'm going to show off Illusionist.
You can kill those ghosts, right? Can you not?
No, you can't. They're just part of the effect.
Someone was
Killing them?
They were killing them. Then why is there a ghost dead?
Ghost dead?
There's a place for a sound for ghost dead.
Probably when it fades away after time or it gets hit.
I guess they do die.
Yeah.
You just don't kill them with a sword. They just die on their own.
So this is the Illusionist discipline.
Nothing's ever good enough.
Glamour weapon. Add a glamour to your weapon, increasing weapon damage. And reveal shadows. Activates shadow sight. You're gonna be able to see anyone in stealth around you. So that is glamour weapon, and then that is gonna reveal anyone who has stealth around you. Another fun one to work on. Let's see what else. I'm super excited to work on Naiad. I think I'm gonna start working on that next week.
On which one? Sorry.
Naiad, which is gonna be water spirits. I can just show this off. Blair has Fountain of Life, similar to Druid Orb, spews chain healing, destroy self after spewing X number of charges. The X number of charges is awesome, and a lot of a lot of chain heals can be buffed by the Pixie passive. Not Pixie passive. What am I thinking of here? Where the hell is it? Is it Pixie? It's Pixie's passive. So it's a major discipline, but the passive here will let you increase the number of jumps. And Naiad may be affected by that, but definitely like the Druid's Nature's Avatar and other chain heals that we have in here will be affected by Pixie's passive here. So if it used to jump to 2 targets and you equip Pixie's passive, it'll jump to 3. Yeah, and then Naiad has Water Spirits, Healing Tornado, basically hovering, slow-moving projectile, heals allies up to 3 times. But I'm excited to do some water effects. It's going to be a lot of fun.
You said water spirit stuff?
Water spirits.
Can I expect some Spirited Away inspired effects?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Miyazaki makes some awesome water.
Yes, he does. And food. If you look at the food in those movies, even though it's animated,
food, yeah.
It makes me hungry.
I can't look at game food the same way again after
Final
Fantasy 15.
Yeah, I knew you
food
were
looks so good. So I have
I still haven't played it because I'm the worst.
That's okay. I figured you. All right, let me show some more of these off. Let's see. Oh, let me show off Aislin's Bard effects. They're still undergoing changes. She's actually still working on them, and we're not gonna have as many music notes in there, but they are pretty sweet right now. So appreciate them for what they are. So this is Song of Speed, and this is going to give you a movement speed buff. And then we have one for groups damage taken by 15%. I think that's worded weirdly.
Sound effects for those. That's true.
Do you hear any of them? Sorry, Groups. Guardian Rhythms
No, I didn't
increases
put
your
those.
group's damage taken by 15%.
I love those music notes.
Hymn of Restoration,
rad.
Healing, and Verses of Victory. So Bard is going to be more buffs, and then Troubadour will have more damage-based songs. So this is her. Okay, that's nice. I like covered up her effect with this window. So let me show that again. Guardian Rhythms. These powers specifically, anytime Blair gets a piece of tech or like he gets something like really awesome working, he's like super giddy at his chair. He'll just like lean over and be like, "Hey Greg, come over here." And it's awesome. It's awesome working on a team with people who are like so passionate about what they're doing.
Blair's been so excited since Disciplines came online.
Yeah.
Like since he starts to he gets to play with all this new tech, and like he's just been giddy.
Yeah, he's.
It's cool to see him so upbeat.
We just gave him this giant box
He's
of
always
Legos, and then he's like the child who goes up to the parent like, "Hey, check out what I made."
It is.
But it's cool. It's not like you're just trying to make them feel good.
Right.
I didn't mean it. All right.
You're saying he's like a talented kid, right?
He's a
it's
talented,
like you're actually
gifted
impressed.
Child. Yeah, so these are awesome.
I just put that on my druid in in an internal playtest yesterday, and it was sick.
These are cool. These are the first toggle effects that we have in game. So you're kind of just toggling these on, then you're seeing the passive buff stay up on the right. And then every number of ticks, every 6 seconds, you're going to see that effect. 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah.
Then you can keep those going.
Yeah.
And each one has a different chord
Yeah.
that I created that connects together. And make a little sound.
Gibson made some awesome sound effects for it. He's upset that they're not in Unity right now. So this was a charge up for Shield Fighter, Shield Slam. Any questions? I'm kind of just going off in super tangents right now.
There's some design questions that I'm reluctant to answer until 2 p.m. when Blair and Hallish come on.
Let me show off Spear Whip. Let me do CSR real quick. I'm gonna show off
some requests for instruments.
let me see if I. Oh no, let me not do that. Not yet. We were talking about that. So we were talking like, what if you just pulled out a small instrument and played it? And that's still up on the table. You guys want to see Pixie? Let me show Pixie. Did you pull CSR up?
Nope.
All right, you don't have to do it yet. I'm gonna stay here. Pixie, where are you? I got to increase the scale here. So Billy is going to work on individual scales for these windows, and that's going to be awesome. I love the direction where our UI is going, and I think Billy's up next.
Billy is up next at 1 p.m. Speaking of which, it's 12:49, so we'll say about a 10-minute warning.
Okay.
Then we'll make the switch.
There's Pixie. All right, so I'll probably show this off. And then Spirit Whip. I bet Blair shows off Spirit Whip too. All right, so Pixie Dust. Let me scale this back down so we can read it. Pixie Dust. Blanket the targeted area with Pixie Dust, increasing incoming healing for 25% for 25 seconds. And we want shrink to targeted area down to size, reducing damage bonus for 20% for 25 seconds. This debuff stacks up to 3 times.
Those have sound effects too.
Gibson want everyone to know those have sound effects too. It's just your voice just pierces through my soul.
Hmm?
What? No. I really like the sound effects you worked on.
You're doing
Okay, all right, now I'm going to do CSR. I think this is the last one I'll show off in Unity, and then with the time I have left, I'll just jump around different popcorn effects and take any more effects-related questions. And if anyone had... yeah, I'll show Spear Whip here. The CSR up?
Nope. You need it up?
Yeah.
Hold on while you do that. Where's my dog at? Alright, you're up.
Cool.
Where's my dog at? Where is dog at? We've said his name a few times. He hasn't appeared yet. I'm sure he will crash a stream at some point. As a reminder, he and Mr. Andrew Cook, our animators, will be here at 4 p.m. for the animation showcase. And
that'll be a treat.
that will be a treat. for sure. That will be a PR nightmare, I'm sure.
He's been summoned. God, why? No, I'm kidding.
Oh, he's just actually them in the background now.
Uh-oh.
I'm calling him in. So I'm going to show off Spear Whip before Doggy comes. Alright, so Spear Whip.
Here. Yeah.
Melee, what's up, man?
What's going on?
Everyone can't wait to see you.
They're hyped for your
We're
4
excited
p.m.
about
stream.
you guys.
Yeah, well, I never got any kind of bouncy balls from Kent, so no shirt. Sorry.
Bouncy ball? Show your donkey
Okay,
balls.
So Spirit Whip is a pretty cool passive. Melee basic attacks now whip to additional targets within range. Each time the Spirit whips is deals less damage. This is why I'm tripping over words, because we're cleaning this up still. 50% of the first whip and 25% for the second. Okay, so what that means is anytime you hit somebody with a basic melee attack, not melee attacks from powers, but a basic melee attack on anyone who can equip the miner, you're going to see it whip to 2 other targets, doing, it looks like almost half damage, relatively. So yeah, this is hitting 2 other targets. So that is a cool passive. And I'm really interested to see how all of these are going to stack with other disciplines and like what they're going to break, because for us to test literally every combination is impossible, and you guys are going to find some cool stuff.
Yeah.
It's slightly
cool stuff. Yeah.
It's slightly terrifying.
You're going to find there's going to be some brokenness, there's going to be some wonkiness.
There's going to be some combination of disciplines that could potentially crash. No, I'm gonna, yeah, whatever.
Tinnis asked, what happens if a druid puts Spirit Whip on Spark?
That's a good question. Yeah, that is considered. It's not melee. Yeah, okay, so it's specifically melee.
Okay.
I was like, that is her basic attack on her damage tree, but it's not melee. And it's specifically for melee attacks, melee basics. So the Confessor would not be able to use it either. And what I imagine, the Frostweaver, she's not totally designed yet, but fully designed, I should say. Everyone's roughed out. All right, so for the rest of this, I'll just jump around popcorn and show like some of these other effects in here. Sometimes it's cool seeing like the different pieces. This was the Dryad's Blast of Leaves that Aislinn worked on. Leaves. Her Fire Eater effect was pretty cool too. Whoosh. Let's see, we have this is a poison cleanse, so you're going to see this with the cleanse base, that green base I showed at the start, and this will heal poison. And then if you're hit by a poisoner power, it'll be a darker cloud of smoke, and obviously it's not going to have the heal base, so that's going to stand out pretty well. We may actually bring this one like from one color to another instead of just staying green, like maybe green to blue, just so it stands out a bit more from the hit. Again, some of these are polished. Oh, I should show off Aislinn's Runecaster. I think you've seen one of these in, that's cool, Rune Power. That is Runecaster A01. So Runecaster A01 is Power Rune, Shield, Self Buff, 20% Elemental Mitigations. Power Rune Fortification, Group Buff, plus 800 health, 30 minutes.
That's not supposed to happen. I blame exploit. I blame software.
So that's just a piece of a power. Yeah, because they're...
Did you see it for a second?
Yeah,
So this is her Power Sanctuary. And this is going to area field 20% all mitigations for your faction. Just have like 40 people standing in this little orb. I'm sure it has a number of targets.
Howdy, Blair.
Howdy, Blair. I'm talking about you. Do we have any questions before this ends? We got 4 minutes left, potentially less.
Wabis asked, how many total effects have you created up to this point?
It's over 1,000 now. It's up there. I've been here 2 years. Aislinn's been here almost a year now. Actually, I've been here almost 2 years.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah.
All right, Tapper, get out.
All right. I'm going. Thanks for watching, guys. Billy's up next.